Christmas and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that, all rolled into one. Here we are, just as promised. Rush Limbaugh and the EIB Network. Great to have you with us, folks. As always, the telephone number, if you want to be on the program, is 800-282-2882. As I scour the cable news networks, I see all of the backup hosts, all the second and third tier hosts that you never see except whatever. And here we are. I always love being on when everybody else is taking a vacation day or vacation period or what have you. It's always been that way. And if I could have been here tomorrow, I would have, but the staff revolted, claiming that I was turning into Scrooge if I made it all about me. They've got things, which I understand. So today will be it. You know, now next year, we better start thinking about, because it's a leap year. No, we better start thinking in advance, because Christmas next year is on a Friday. And I will guarantee you, it's Wednesday this year, Friday next. So I will guarantee you I'm going to be under pressure to take the entire week off, not work up. I know this. Well, I'm not going to make that commitment right now because there's too much that can happen between now and then. I mean, by that time, the election will have occurred. None of us may want to be here. Anyway, it is great to have you, folks. Now, I have to tell you, on over the weekend, and I did not pre-announce this for a whole host of reasons. It was not open to the public anyway. There's a relatively young organization out there called Turning Point USA. It was founded by a young guy named Charlie Kirk, and it has taken off. It is a young conservative organization, high school and college age up through millennial age young people who have decided that they want to be fully immersed and educated in all things conservative, and that they want to be mobilized and activated. They want to be involved and engaged. And Kirk, every December here in Florida, has a multiple-day conference that's attended by 4,000 to 5,000 of these young people. And he is very tight with President Trump and his family. The president shows up. He has a big fundraising award dinner at Mar-a-Lago during the period of time that this conference is taking place. And last year, of course, I received the first award this group has offered. And I was asked by Mr. Kirk to introduce the president on Saturday. He was to address this group at 5 p.m. at the Palm Beach Convention Center. And, of course, I said I'm honored. I would be happy to. I said, how much time's involved? Well, maybe 15 minutes. 15 minutes? I haven't finished clearing my throat in 15 minutes. Well, it's 15 minutes. But the president wants you. It's okay. So I agreed to do it. By the time I got there, it was down to 10 minutes. I must have had 3 White House people come up. How long are you going to speak? I said, well, 15. No. It's 10 minutes. We got it right down. See, it's 10. Okay. 10 minutes, fine. 10 minutes, I'm halfway through clearing my throat. But I'll tell you, the place was wired. It was electric, and it was raucous. And it was really a thrill to be there. Now, I ended up speaking for 8 minutes, and I'm going to play you some audio from it. And I need to tell you some things about it, though. This is not in any way excuse-making. I just need for everybody to understand, because people, why don't you do more of this? And there's an answer to it. In a place like this, folks, the acoustics for me are just impossible. And in a setting like this, with as much echo and reverb as there is, I literally cannot hear myself, and I do not know if the audience is reacting at all. So it's difficult to establish a bond in a room with 5,000 people. It's tough to establish a connectivity bond. Now, my supreme talents and professionalism are able to overcome this. But it still is a huge, it's simply a function of bionic hearing. It's simply a function of bionic hearing, and there's no way. I've tried, I don't know how many ways to explain to people how things in life sound to me now, as opposed to when I can hear normally or naturally. It's impossible. I can't think. Back when I had my God-given hearing, I can't think of anything that sounded the way things sound to me now. And so it's impossible to explain it to people, and so it's an in the moment kind of challenge. You have to be able to get some kind of feedback. Is it working? Is it not working? Are they paying attention? Are they not paying attention? If they're not, how can you get their attention? And then you add the 10-minute time frame, which to me, I mean, it's the epitome of get in, get it, and get out. I mean, you really have time to elaborate on nothing. Plus, the reason you're there, the reason I was there is to introduce the president anyway. But it was such an opportunity. Here you have 5,000 young people, young skulls full of mush, waiting to be shaped, flaked, formed, and molded. Properly, of course. 1,000 of them were high school students. Such a golden opportunity. And so I want to play 3 sound bites from the intro and, amazingly, the media reaction to it. I came in, I didn't know any of this till I got the soundbite roster today. CNN, NPR, they're all reacting. Also, I met with the president on Saturday, and look, this is another thing, too. When anybody has a meeting with the president, be it social or business or a combination, you don't tell anybody. The White House controls that information. If they want to say it took place, then they say it. If they don't say anything, you don't. That's the understood rule. It's not even something that's stated. You just are assumed to understand that if you meet with the president, it's not up to you to tell everybody that it happened. It's up to the White House. Well, somebody snapped a picture of the meeting and posted it. It was a Politico reporter. Somebody snapped a low-resolution picture of the president and me and some others having lunch on Sunday afternoon. Days are running there. Sunday afternoon. And they got it all wrong, except for the fact that I was in the picture. They got the location wrong. They got the people in the picture wrong. And it's an interesting illustration of how the media just assumes things and reports them. It's minor stuff in this case as to who was having lunch. But it really is the case. You meet with them. You meet with the White House, with the president. And it's up to them. If they want to release pictures of it, they do. You don't. If they want to issue any kind of... In other words, somebody like me does not come to this program. Guess what I did over the... You don't do that. That's up for the White House to do it. So I could have met with the president a whole bunch of times, and nobody knows it unless they announce it. Anyway, this one got out. It was no big deal. We'll get to that because the media reaction to this is what's funny. They think it was at Mar-a-Lago. It wasn't. And as you will hear, you know what the funniest thing is? At CNN, they're all worried. Oh, my God. Trump's meeting with Limbaugh. That means his advisors can't get to him. That means Limbaugh can undercut Trump's advisors. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. The White House doesn't like this. Presidential advisors do not like people like Limbaugh having access to the president when they aren't around to correct what Limbaugh's saying. I mean, it's the craziest thing. The sheer paranoia that exists. And the presumption, of course, is that Trump doesn't know anything. You know, this is the great dichotomy. Trump doesn't know anything. His advisors have to tell him what to think. His advisors have to tell him what to say. And yet, on the other hand, the guy is the epitome of evil. He is the epitome of being wrong about things, and he's out of control, and nobody can control him. So which is it? Critics, I mean, nothing's changed. Donald Trump has advisors, but he doesn't need them to tell him what he thinks. He knows what he thinks. He knows what he wants to do about various things. And when you're up close and personal to it, you see just how absurd and ridiculous the press coverage of him is, even beyond the obvious. The obvious hatred, the obvious bias, the obvious fake news, the obvious opposition. When you're up close and personal to it, you get an indication of just how contradictory and delusional the press coverage of this man happens to be. Well, let's go start with the sound bites of my introduction. Remember, in 10 minutes, I got it done in 8. And here, this is one of the things that the press is having apoplectic fits over. This is how I began after having been introduced. I just learned backstage that there are an incredible number, like 1,000 high school students here. Oh, man. I'll tell you, I have been dying to talk to high school students about so much about what's happening. I just want to tell you, I don't have time tonight, but I just want to tell you, climate change is a hoax. Please don't believe it. Whatever you do, I beg of you. Right out of the box. Climate change is a hoax. Now, not in the bite. I went on to explain. You should see my face. My face was pleading. I was literally begging because young people are susceptible to this. Look at Greta Thunberg. I was going to mention her, but I didn't have time. I'll tell you how. In fact, I'll tell you how I was going to mention her, but I didn't have time to squeeze it in. But they've got people scared to death that the planet is not going to support human life in 12 years, in 15 or 20. It's literally absurd. And I told these people in the audience, they're trying to scare you into adopting things that will advance their agenda. I said climate change or global warming, whatever, contains every issue, every bit of strategy the left is using to transform America away from our founding. It has guilt. It has redemption. It has blaming your parents, blaming adults. It has invest in government, believe in science. Everything they use to propagandize and indoctrinate people is self-contained in climate change. And I said, this is not to say that the climate isn't changing, but it's not the way it's being presented. It's the fault of the United States. It's the fault of the United States progress that's causing this calamity. It's not true. So I said, please, when you leave here, I know what I've said is going to shake it, but dig into it because it is a full-fledged hoax. And it's one of those things, folks, when you realize brevity is the soul of wit. I didn't have time to elaborate, so what did I do? Climate change is a hoax. Bam, right between the eyes. Now, here's what I was going to tell about Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, 16 years old. Do you know her story? She was 8 years old and watching the news. And she was hearing about the destruction of the planet and how it wasn't going to support life in 10 to 15 years. And she had a panic attack and stopped talking for years. She literally had a psychological inversion because of it. She came out of it and became a full-fledged 100% activist for this, which, of course, the left then recognized and propelled her upwards on a pedestal. And I feel sorry for her. She is a living classic example of what they are doing to people to advance their agenda. Scaring a young woman who's already got a problem. She has autism-related symptoms, Asperger's, whatever it is. They don't care. The more they can use people with disabilities to advance their cause, the better. Because they prop up people with disabilities, and it makes it impossible for people to criticize them. And that's done for a purpose. I didn't get a chance to tell these young people this because I knew I wouldn't have time. If I got started in this, I'd have gotten the hook again because I'd have gone over the time limit. But it's exactly what they do. They take a young woman who they've propagandized and they've turned into this gigantic full-throated activist. They put her up on a political stage. They make her a political person. They convert her into a political weapon. And then if anybody dares criticize her, how dare you? This woman has autism. Do you have no soul? Do you have no sense of shame? How dare you? See, you can't criticize. Because if you do, you're a mean-spirited brute. And it's a favored tactic of the left to use people with disabilities in television commercials for Democrat candidates. And they can say whatever they want. They can lie through their teeth. They can read whatever's been written for them, and they're unassailable because they are disabled. And no amount of criticism of disabled people is permitted. In the drive-by media, you try it. I've done it. They come after you. They try to destroy you. They rip into you as having no soul and having no compassion. And I feel sorry for kids like this that they use. But I primarily feel sorry for them. Look what they're doing to them. And it's not just in the issue of climate change. It's virtually everything in their agenda. They are scaring the heck out of young people. And then telling people after they've scared them to death that the reason for their fear, the reason they're frightened, the legitimate reasons are found in America and then in the Republican or conservative parties and movement. And they totally politicize this. And most people don't have the know-how or the desire to even react to it. So people like Greta Thunberg just are allowed to do what they do uncommented on. And they become official spokesmen. And then they become to young people heroes, brave and courageous and so forth. But it's the fear. It's what is to be gained by telling a young woman 8 or 10 years old with a steady diet of meat who already has autism that she's got no hope, no reason to live beyond the age of 25? Who would do this? What kind of people would take a young person and literally shred their dreams and create out of them paranoid, frightened people who think that progress and advanced lifestyles and standards of living is destroying the planet? Well, people who are political, who want a globalist government or control of whatever government they can get on, is the kind of people doing it. The American level. We've got to take a break. Hang on. Just getting warmed up here, folks. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Rush Limbaugh.
The big voice on the right.
On the EIB network.
Rush Limbaugh.
710 WOR.
Hey, it's real simple. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. Can you afford to expand? Can you make that new hire? Can you launch the new ad campaign? You know, most companies don't have a clear picture of their finances, so they make key business decisions without critical information. And that's why many businesses fail. Do you have the right numbers at your fingertips? Serious entrepreneurs and finance teams run on NetSuite by Oracle. That's the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite offers a full picture of all of your finances, all in one place in real time, right from your phone or desktop. No more guessing. That's why NetSuite customers grow 3 times faster than the S&P 500. Schedule your free demo right now and receive their free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits, at netsuite.com/rush. Set up your free demo and get your free guide today. That's netsuite.com/rush.
Here is some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if you sign up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. It's the affordable alternative to health insurance. And it's worked beautifully for 25 years. They have more than 400,000 members now around the country. MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry. And over the years, members have shared over $3 billion of each other's medical bills. So they could help share your needs too. And best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is about $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money every month. You're not stuck with a high-cost health plan. You can join Medishare anytime, so call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more, and there's no pressure. They are super easy to talk to. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Attention investors. Tired of stock market doldrums, not earning cash flow of 18 to 21% targeted consistently? Want to plan around future recessions by being the landlord? National Realty's Class A Buildings Fund is made up of prime income-producing real estate. You're secured on large apartment buildings. You're backed by $750 million of high-quality new construction. You receive monthly electronic cash flow payments. You're diversified with 15 large buildings supporting your money. These prime building locations back you with hard money-making assets. Remember, no matter what type of market, it's always a landlord's market. Call now for your free guide to secured realty investment wealth. Just call now for cash flow or IRA and retirement asset investment. National Realty's 13-year flawless track record and 900 repeat investors proves it. Call 201-210-2727. That's 201-210-2727.
An offer to buy or sell any security is only made by our private placement memorandum. Read it first and invest wisely. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. National is a real estate development firm. See us at nria.net.
Tim's taxes were an unbelievably tangled mess.
I'd had almost 10 years of trouble with the IRS. Then Optima got involved. No more phone calls, no more stress.
Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau.
It's like having two lives, the one before Optima Tax and the one after.
Call Optima now for a free consultation. Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
iHeartRadio. All the Christmas songs you want. iHeartRadio. With you while you're wrapping gifts. iHeartRadio. Christmas tunes for every mood. iHeartRadio. Here's a guy to tell you more.
iHeartRadio is your home for Christmas music. Commercial-free iHeart Christmas Radio with all your favorites. North Pole Radio with Santa. Even iHeart Christmas Rock. Plus, now you can tell Alexa to play iHeart Christmas Radio on iHeartRadio. Your music, your stations, and #1 for podcasts.